In my previous video, I said there's no way I would bring Melvin Gordon in to the Eagles. Darrell Henderson, on the other hand, that's a different story.
You want a war? You're going to get one.
What was that? He had enough time for one more play. He had an opportunity to win that game at the end. But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us. I'm upset, but the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You literally.
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us. Yeah, we had one man opportunity for one more play.
Dallas still stinks. By the way, King Dingbat here in a shocking move. The Los Angeles Rams have waived Darrell Henderson. They have waived him. And now the Eagles have an opportunity, if they want, to claim him. And this isn't the same situation as Melvin Gordon, because Henderson is better right now. Now, we're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL content. You definitely don't want to miss it. And if you've been subscribed for a while, you know the deal. Just double check. Double walk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube's doing it again. It's happening again. People have reached out to me and let me know. So just double check. I appreciate it. Now, I did a video earlier talking about how I didn't want Melvin Gordon, and I still don't. I don't want the Eagles to bring in Melvin Gordon, and I do believe Trey Sermon deserves a chance to play. I definitely do. But little did I know that after I put up that video, that the Los Angeles Rams were going to waive Darrell Henderson. Now, to me, this is a completely different situation than Melvin Gordon. To me, Melvin Gordon is shot. Darrell Henderson is a lot younger. And we've got to keep our eye out, because something could be brewing. Something could be up. And the reason why I say this is, check this out. Earlier today, Eagles have released Jared Williams from the practice squad injured reserve list and released Auden Tate from the practice squad. They just brought in Tate like last week. They've already released them. They've released two guys from the practice squad, opening spaces, opening spots for the Eagles. Now, what are they going to do? I don't know, but they've got something planned. They've got something brewing. Could they have put a claimer in for Melvin Gordon? I don't know. It's possible. Or could this be a situation where they're going to put a claim in for Darrell Henderson? Now, I look at Darrell Henderson, and I think he's a different type of back than a Melvin Gordon. He's not as big. He's 5'8", 208 pounds. He's still a little bit, he's small, little, low center gravity. He could be tough to bring down and stuff, but I don't really look at him as a Jordan Howard or a big physical back like that. He's got a little bit of pop to him. He has 70 attempts this year, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's averaging 4 yards a carry. Now, over the last 2 weeks, he's had 8 carries. Okay, I'm not sure nobody really knows why the Rams cut him. He hasn't been horrible. He's been a starter for them at points this season. He's averaging 4 yards a carry. He's only 25 years old. Remember, he was drafted the same year that Miles Sanders was. Him and Miles Sanders were two guys that I really wanted the Eagles to draft. And Darrell Henderson is now going through waivers. So teams are going to have a chance to claim him. I think there's a pretty good chance somebody will claim him. It's just a matter of who. And to me, I look at Darrell Henderson not so much as your big physical complementary running back to Miles Sanders, but I look at him as another guy, another weapon. I think he would come in and he would be better than Gainwell right off the bat. I think he's better than Gainwell. So you would be improving your backup running position. You still could bring Trey Sermon up and play, okay? There's so much you can do here. I think that the Eagles should put a claim in for Darrell Henderson. You would have him for just the rest of the year, but he's been playing this year, so he's ready to go. and I don't think he can hurt you. Like I said, he's only 5'8". He's 208 pounds. He's 5'8". Low center of gravity. Kind of hard to bring down. But I think he would be a good fit for the Eagles. And I just wonder what the Eagles are up to, because they just created space for 2 spaces on the practice squad. What are they planning? You have to wonder. I think Darrell Henderson could be. I think the Eagles may look at him and they may like him, and this would not surprise me at all. This makes a lot more sense than Melvin Gordon. Now Melvin Gordon's on waivers too. His waiver claim should be coming in soon. We should find out if he cleared waivers. I think Melvin Gordon will clear waivers. Did the Eagles put in something for him? I don't know. I mean, I had a couple people ask me, hey, we just cut 2 people off for practice squad. Do you think they put a claim in for Gordon and they're expecting him to win? I don't know. It's possible, but I don't think so. Darrell Henderson, to me, seems like a lot better situation. I just don't think, and it depends where the Eagles waiver wire claims are right now, I'd have to think that he would never make it. Somebody's going to pick him up. I've seen a couple things saying that the Minnesota Vikings should make a play for him. Some other teams. I think the Eagles should jump on it. You would have him for the rest of this year. Then he would be a free agent like Miles. However, during the rest of this year, I think he gives you more pop. I think he gives you more than you get with Gainwell in terms of a running back. Okay, maybe Gainwell gives you a little more out of the backfield in terms of receiving, but I think Darrell Henderson would instantly come in, instantly be your number 2 back. And if you choose to use Sermon and you choose to play Trey Sermon, it's not going to hurt anything, in my opinion. You can still bring him up. You can bring both those guys up. Okay, like I said before, I would sit Covey, and I would sit there and I would put Ball Scott as my punt returner, and then I would have 4 running backs play. Now, if you get Darrell Henderson, yes, it may mean that Gainwell would be a healthy scratch. It could mean Boston Scott is a healthy scratch, depending upon if they want him doing returns. However, I think Darrell Henderson's better than Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell at this point. So why not bring him in? Like I said, he's 25 years old. And I think he's got a lot to give. I don't think the Rams ever used him right. I don't ever think they really wanted to use him the right way. And obviously, if you look at his Twitter and things, he is absolutely happy, elated to be leaving the Rams. So I don't know what was up. I don't know if he asked for his release. But the Rams cut him, and it's kind of a shocker. But that's a team that's headed in a bad spot. No picks. Your team stinks. I'm sure Darrell Henderson is happy to get out there. I think we got to keep our eyes open. I think something's going on with the Eagles, and maybe it's they're going to bring in a couple more guys that nobody knows who they are, and that's the plan. Or maybe they put in a waiver claim for Henderson or Gordon, or that's their plan, because they freed up 2 spots today, and I'm wondering what it's for. That's going to be the question. Is it going to be guys on the roster you're going to put down the practice squad? I don't know. But it's going to be interesting. I think if I'm the Eagles, I would definitely put a claim in for Darrell Henderson. I think it would be a great move. And I think you would upgrade your depth at the running back position without question. Like I said, I think Darrell Henderson comes in and would automatically be your number 2 running back. He just needs more carries as far as I'm concerned. I like him. I think he's got some pop. And the Eagles should jump all over it, in my opinion. But I mean, we'll see what they do. We'll see what Howie wants to do. You got to say, every move that Howie has made pretty much has been a genius move. I mean, last week, if you look at the Joseph Sue signing, I mean, nobody saw that coming, both of those guys. And then to have those guys go out in the Indianapolis game and then do what they did. I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, that was an unbelievable move, and it paid dividends. I don't think the Eagles win that game, or even in that game, if Sue and Joseph weren't playing. That's how much of an impact that both of those guys made. So, yes, if you have an opportunity to better your team, you always do it. I don't look at Melvin Gordon as bettering your team. He's older, veteran. I just don't know what he has left. He's a great name. Darrell Henderson, I think he's a young kid with pop a change of scenery may do him good. And I think he's good enough to at least be your number 2 running back on the Eagles. And listen, I know there's a lot of people that like Gainwell. I like Gainwell, and I think he's got skill set. But he hasn't done enough for me to not say, hey, if I can't upgrade that number 2 running back spot, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I think if you can do it, you do it. Personally, I would claim Henderson. I would bring up Trey Sermon, and then either Scott or Gainwell will go to the practice squad or be healthy scratches. However that would work. That's what I would do, and I think you would be upgrading your running back position a lot. I love Boss Scott. I don't think they use him right. I think you should be using Boss Scott more like a Darren Sproles type player. I think especially in the receiving game, Boss Scott has shown us, especially versus the New York Giants, he is very good at catching, and he's effective at it. So I don't know why they don't use him more in a passing game. Gainwell, to me, is just, I don't know, he just hasn't done enough for me not to look at a guy like Darrell Henderson and say, man, if I could get him off waivers right now, he could come right in and he can be my number 2 running back right away. I definitely think he could. So if I'm the Eagles, I would probably put a claim in for Darrell Henderson Jr. I don't know that they'll get it, but I would definitely take a shot. And regardless if I take a shot or not, Trey Sermon still has to come up. Darrell Henderson signing, in my opinion, would not affect me at all. Bringing up Trey Sermon, I would still do that as well. But that's just my opinion. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Thought this was a very, very, very interesting move by the Rams, and seeing the Eagles basically wave 2 guys off the practice squad, I have to wonder what's up, because they're getting ready to make a counter move. They may be making 2 counter moves. The question is what are those moves? Are they veterans like we did last week, or are they going to be just guys off, just journeymen coming onto the practice squad? I don't know, but it's pretty interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. So Thanksgiving is coming quick. One of the things I always do on Thanksgiving is I watch football. Whether I'm streaming it this week or not, I'll be watching. And I'm going to have several different bets going on. One of the bets I'm thinking of doing is a 3-game parlay where I'll pick a team to win, the spread in all 3 games. The first, and I wanted to get you guys' opinion because some of these spreads are kind of interesting and are tempting to me, right? All right, so the first game, you got the Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions. The Bills are 9.5-point favorites. You figure they should be, they're one of the best teams in the league. They should go out and they should blow the Detroit Lions out. Detroit's playing good football. Detroit has been playing pretty decent right now. I think I'm going to take Detroit and the 9.5 points. I think I'm going to actually take the 9.5 points. I think Buffalo win, but Detroit may make this closer than people think. I think I'm going to, and you guys let me know what you think. I think I'm taking Detroit in the points. The second game is the New York Giants and the Cowboys. Cowboys, 9-point favorites. 9-point favorites against an NFC East division opponent who's coming off a bad loss after Dallas just had a big win, and Dallas already beat them already beat them once. So it's very hard to beat a team, especially in your division, twice. I think I'm going to take the Giants and the 9 points. So I'm going to take the Lions getting plus 9.5, and I think I'm going to take the Giants plus 9. The Cowboys probably will still win the game, but I don't know if they'll cover. And then the last game, of course, is the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are 2.5-point favorites. That's less than 3 points at home. I think I'm going to take Minnesota in the 2.5 because Minnesota's coming off a bad loss. I expect them to cover and beat New England. So I'm thinking Detroit plus 9.5, the Giants plus 9, and then Minnesota minus 2.5. I may not go wrong with that. What do you guys think? Denzel Washington out.